Hi, and welcome to Sprout Sessions, where our pros pull back the curtain on what it really takes to build, manage, and grow a successful website. We're here to answer your questions and share what we've learned from working on real-world websites every day, so that your website can work harder and you can focus on what you love.
Before we dive in, here's a quick intro. We're CYBERsprout, a web design and development team based in Minnesota. This year, we're celebrating 10 years of helping organizations bring their website ideas to life.
In that time, we've built custom websites for over 300 clients. Our goal? Websites that look amazing and perform even better, bringing in leads, streamlining content, and helping our clients grow.
What really sets us apart is our team. Between us, we have decades of experience in the web development, user experience, SEO, and digital marketing space. We bring all of these to the table for you in these sessions.
This series moves fast, but don't worry, we're here if you want to dive deeper. You can visit us anytime at cybersprout.net and click Let's Connect at the top of the page. We've also dropped the link in the video description.
If content like this helps you out, do us a favor. Like this video and hit subscribe. It's the best way to stay in the loop as we roll out more website tips, tools, and ideas for navigating today's digital world.
All right, we're glad you're here. Let's get into it. This is Sprout Sections.
Now we're going to examine the question of website navigation. We get asked a lot if a website navigation on a specific site is intuitive and user-friendly. Stephanie, what are your thoughts on that from a sales perspective?
Absolutely. I get this question a lot when I'm talking to clients. They come to me asking for a better behaving website, one that's a lot easier for them and for their clients or potential customers, whoever's using it on the other end. They want it to be a lot easier for them to use. And it's not just about a design feature. It's a guide for your website. And if things are unclear where they're being taken on their website, or if something really important to their business is buried under 3, 4, 5 clicks, you're a lot less likely to turn that into a good thing for your business, whether it's a sale or somebody reaching out to you or visiting a restaurant or engaging in your services.
Sure. Angie, anything to add to that?
So just thinking about the one we had a couple of weeks ago, Stephanie, where there's so many tabs at the top. I'm like, okay, we got to talk about your goals here. What do you want for your user? So that's where Beth and Michael come into play and help me help you, that kind of thing.
That can cause a lot of decision fatigue for the visitor too.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they just see so much there. They're like, I don't have time to figure this out. I'm out. And they leave you before they even do anything.
Yeah, those first couple of seconds when somebody opens up your website are so important. And if they're clicking around and not finding what they're looking for, they're going to leave.
From a design standpoint, there's a couple guidelines that I try to abide by. I would say the most top level pages I stick to in the main menu navigation would be 6, maybe 7, preferably less than that. And then those will each have drop downs. I don't think I've ever designed a site where there was a third tier drop down because it just gets so hard to manage all of them. What I'll do instead is make subcategory landing pages where, let's say that it's products and then they have the brands underneath. Instead of hovering on a brand and having a bunch of other types of products, you would just go to that brand page and then make a decision. It just breaks it down a lot more simply. Another thing I really like to do with even my own sites is the pages that do get longer content wise to either have simple links at the top, almost like a second menu on that page so people can jump to where they need to be, or have a sidebar that doesn't move as they scroll. And one final thing, if there really is a lot of content to organize, I'm thinking specifically e-commerce sites, it's nice to be able to implement a mega menu, the full width of the screen, and it has those breakdowns. It's just a lot more digestible. And then obviously you have to take into consideration how you're going to then format that for mobile. Those are just a couple of the workarounds, I guess, that I like to do.
Definitely. So the mega menu is a great example of how to make a more complex information structure more usable, having those chunks of those columns of information and maybe incorporating some descriptive text or imagery or icons or something like that within that to really break down how that flow goes. Nate, you've helped us a great deal with e-commerce sites in terms of those complex menus, especially transferring from a desktop to a mobile situation. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to those e-com shop pages, typically you're going to have some kind of filtering so that user can drill down and find the product that they're looking for. But on a mobile device, it gets very cumbersome, takes up a lot of your real estate on the small width screens. So we use a strategy, fly off or canvas, off canvas is what it's called, where when you click an Elementor button on the page, kind of like a panel swipes over with those filters. And it's only there for them to pick and choose what they're filtering for, what they're looking for, and then they can submit it, close it, and then the results refresh. So that is just one example when it comes to a complex functionality on an e-com website to give them that best user experience. So they can still see everything and they can still have everything at their fingertips.
Definitely. Brad, would you agree that working on navigation and site architecture is probably the bulk of the user experience work, the user journey work that we do for clients?
Definitely. The other thing too, we like to coach our clients around is that main navigation bar that Beth alluded to earlier. That should be about your core business. Like if you're in a service business or whatever, that should be the items that are there. If you're trying to promote other things, like maybe you're also doing some hiring or you're doing some other location information, those can live in other places, like maybe a secondary navigation bar that lives around that, or even in the footer, like in the case of CyberSprout, our career information is in the footer. And a lot of end users have trained themselves that a lot of that type of information is going to live at the bottom of the website. So they'll go down there to look for it. But then you're keeping that main primary navigation for what's really driving your business and not confusing people or distracting people.
Yeah, those are great points. Whenever we're looking at a navigation structure and again, overall site architecture, we're looking at it with an eye towards allowing users to quickly and easily find the information they need. So the best way to do that is to have short descriptive phrases, try to avoid industry jargon. Just because internally you call something one thing, these are great examples. Just because you call something one thing and the users are going to be looking for it under a different name, we're going to, in most cases, advise you to stay away from, say, a general bucket like resources, for example, which could mean different things to different users. Let's be really specific. Is it meeting minutes? Is it archived news items? Is it your blog? Let's say those things and be really specific about them, because basically by encouraging users to utilize the navigation and not jump to a search bar because they can't find what they're looking for, it's going to encourage them to spend more time on the site. It's going to reduce bounce rates and it's going to overall contribute to a positive user experience.